Hello, everybody. It's a Q&A day. It's Q&A day. Clean my glasses here so I can read all those wonderful questions that I'm going to reveal the answers to. Hey, what have we got? What have we got today? Right, here we go. First question. Oh, I hope, as you can see, I have made the effort. Got the wee comedy tree here. Got a wee comedy tree stuck in the bedroom. Get all that festive way. Get festive. Hope you've all got your shopping done. Been online, did it all, went out, bought a few presents. Still got a few more to go. I'm good at, I like giving presents. Not very, I always get a wee bit of, I don't know, when you get presents, I'm always a wee bit kind of, I mean, it's lovely to get, don't get me wrong. It's lovely to get presents, but, I prefer to give them. And it's nice. I say that. Imagine coming down, you didn't have any presents. Oh, boo, bah, humbug. Oh, I do okay. So, what's the first question? Here we go, let me press this wee button. Jenny Teen Brook Levers. My son, 8 years old, he is autistic. And his focus is cars. So, he wants to know what is your car and what brand you love to drive in. Well, there was a time, my time when I was going through my buying cars phase, and really, I'm glad to say that's out my system now, because, at the end of the day, you've only got one arse. So I don't know what you would need all those cars for, but I mean, it was nice, it's nice to, it's nice to have those, to say that, I've had the Ferraris and Aston Martins and the Bentleys and stuff like that, but I prefer to have I like a 4x4. I like those ones where it can double up as a van, and you can get lots of people in, so I enjoy that. I mean, and I do love looking at cars, and I love vintage cars, and I love to watch the TV programs at night, and I love the restoration programs too. I love to watch the cars being brought back to life, and you see them, and those guys do a terrific job. So little Jenny, you never told me the name of your boy, but hello, car man, beep beep. Hope that answers your question, Jenny. Have a lovely Christmas. Alison Davidson, hi Marty, have you got your tree up yet? See, look at that wee comedy tree there. And do you go for a real or artificial tree? Well, there's been times, when I've went for the real tree, and I always get very sad about that, but apart from all the needles, when that all kind of ends up falling down, and, it's a palaver to clean it up, isn't it? But I like the artificial trees, and I really enjoy putting the trees up. I've got a few up in the house, and I enjoy that whole time of just putting that up. It's a great time. So, Alison, I prefer like the fake ones, because you can get some really great ones now. And it's nice that I've got some little things that I put on my tree, that I've had from my granny and my mother, that I've kept for many, many years. And that always, when you're putting up decorations, and I'll go into the box, and then suddenly I'll come across that one, and I go, oof, you just get filled with emotion, and you think all the times that they put them on your granny's tree and stuff like that. So isn't it great that we invest in those the feelings that we invest in those little baubles and little reindeers, or a little kind of candy cane looking stick. And I can remember as a child just staring at Christmas trees and being fascinated with it. Can they put the lights off and just stare at them? And there's something so magical about that, just to sit and stare at the tree. And I don't know, it's like it affects me the same way that you probably stare at a coal fire, so, because there's just so many memories tied up in at Christmas time. Powerful time of year for us. So Alison, yeah, that's like number 3 tree. It's a couple of trees, the big tree and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not like Chevy Chase. It's full on. I mean, I like to see, you sometimes see some people on the TV, and, and their house is just like, a winter wonderland, and I think that's magnificent when people go the whole get right into it. And because sometimes when you're driving about, you'll go down certain streets and you'll see that where there's clearly a kind of, there's a lot of, one-upmanship going on with their display. And I think that's healthy, and the kids must love it in the street, and to see all the wonderful colours. So that's brilliant. So Alison, happy Christmas. Hello, Debbie Johnson. Oh, Marty, my Saturday is now sizzling. Whew, sizzling Saturday. Keeping it casual and comfy in your PJ bottoms. Well, I think that's great if you're just, messing about in the house. You don't want nothing too restrictive. So, what was your question? But do you ever wear a house coat? Can it be a house coat? So you're a house coat girl. Answer to that question, I like them when if I'm, when I'm away and I'm working, maybe, and you're staying in hotels and stuff like that. You'll wear the house coat, those big kind of bathrobes and stuff like that. But the house coat and cravat and the Cary Grant look is, that looks great, but not on me, unfortunately. So Debbie, what about onesies? Onesies, yeah, I could see the appeal to that. Just you're on, you're out, you're gone. But yeah, onesies. I don't know. Well, not for me certainly. But I could see the appeal of them. They look nice and cozy. Yeah, I like my pajamas and but I tend to just keep it casual, especially at this time when you're just sitting watching TV and just you get your PGs on. But the house coat, no. I mean, that's something I'll gravitate to in later years. Look forward to that. So Jean McClintock wants to know if I remember Cremola foam. Cremola foam, that was yeah, I do. I remember the wee tub, and you used to, it would kind of precursor to like lemonade, wasn't it? Or like soft drinks. Yeah, that stuff it was like Cremola foam. You put it in a wee tea, mix it up in the glass. God, that stuff was it's like acid on your teeth, I would imagine. I remember it well, Cremola foam. Wow. I mean, that must have had like a gabillion E numbers in it and stuff like that. Yeah, I see you call soft drinks ginger. A lot of people have a tendency to do that in Glasgow. It's like generic for all soft drinks, ginger. And I think that's probably through ginger beer, because ginger beer way back in the day, I think, was one of the only ones you could get many, many moons ago before that diversed into, lots of other soft drinks. So, I love that question there. And you talk about ginger bottles, taking them to the shops. When I was a wee guy, funny enough, I used to always get embarrassed. My dad would say to me, "Come on, right, go and get some Iron Brew or whatever the drink is we were getting at the time." And I'd get sent to the shops, and I'd say, I don't want to take the return bottles. I don't want to take it. I'd get really embarrassed. But they haven't said that. Some of my mates, in the summer, we weren't adverse to maybe champing doors and go like, "Have you got any ginger bottles?" Or have you got any, just to do things like that to try and get some money for sweets. When you think about that, crazy times. You just chap in random people's doors and say, "You got any lemonade bottles?" God, that reminds me of like the Alpine and Bonaccord man who used to come. Used to get those delivered to my ma's house and stuff like that. But my favourite soft drink of all time, well, that's a bit of a statement there, but I do have fond memories, was of Garvey's of Mulgai in Glasgow. They had a wonderful Coca-Cola, the Garvey's Coke, and you couldn't. It was one of those ones, if you drank out of the bottle, it was so carbonated, like you take a drink and you go as if your whole body was about to pop, and I loved it. I loved the limeade and orangeade and pineappleade and stuff like that, when, especially if I was staying over at my granny's, because we get cold floats, stuff like that, and my Papa would go to the ice cream van with a big bowl. They'd take out the kitchen and they would get separate scoops, and we'd have like Coke floats or something like that, which I guess that's why I always loved those. So yeah, I do remember Cremola foam fondly, and so does my dentist. So, good question, Jane. Happy Christmas. Hello, Caroline. Caroline Grease asked me, do you have any rituals prior to going on stage? Or, so, yeah, I do. And I've got to watch, that you can start to build on them, that a certain way that you tie your laces. I had one way in Chicago, which was when I was doing Chicago in the West End, and it became a bad one for me. I had to take all the power away from it because, it's very easy to go into those rituals that you have to do, and you panic and get yourself into a tiz, and really that's no cool. But this one was, I had to try and tie my laces in a certain way so that, so that when I did a double bow, or when I tied it, both sides didn't touch. It was a strange one. It's quite a hard one to explain, but that was a tough one. That one to get away from. I had to tie my shoelaces in a certain way, or put your clothes on in a certain way, or do a certain thing, or have a little certain ritual before, or it'll be a bad show. I guess if it's maybe sharing a drink, or always saying to a person, have a good show and stuff like that, I think they're great. But when it can get a bit silly, with some people who are like, got to tie your laces a certain way, got to put the bow tie on away, got to touch this part of the door before I go out, on your way, you walk down, little rituals before you go in. And I think that you can work it into your track, but it can be enormous. It can take up so much of your time when you should just be enjoying it and getting ready for the show and really focusing on that, really, and trying not to get too nervous. But yeah, it's funny how you get little rituals like that you want to keep visiting because you think it's going to makes the thing you're doing better, and whatever it takes, really. But for me, I used to always keep a little trinket in my pocket that my mum gave me, and I was devastated because I lost it in Glasgow. Doing a gig, and I thought, but at least I lost it in Glasgow, so wherever it is, it's there. So good question. All right, ta-da! Question here from John Gilbraith. Who was your first crush? Was that celebrity? Yeah, funny enough, my first crush, I remember saying that to my mammy, that I liked her, was Ingrid Bergman. Yeah, Ingrid Bergman, and I thought she was absolutely stunning. Still is, still is when I see her on the old films and stuff like that. I think just something classically beautiful about her, and her daughter Isabella Rossellini. Oh wow, fantastic! And then I think my first teenage crush was Jenny Agutter. I like Jenny Agutter, and I once met her, and I got very embarrassed to say hello, and it was It's funny that, isn't it? So that was, I guess that was probably, my first time was Ingrid Bergman. And what a stunning, beautiful woman. And, I love the Humphrey, obviously I love Casablanca. And I love Humphrey Bogart. I adore Humphrey Bogart's movies. And the ones he made with Lauren Bacall were just so special. I love those. And this is, coming up like Christmas time and stuff like that, they always show what I mean is quite a lot of the old timey movies, and that's always a good sense memory for me, whether it's a Marx Brothers movie or obviously White Christmas or It's a Wonderful Life, where you would watch those, the first time seeing those are always strong memories for me. So it was always, for me, those movies were always me sitting in the couch with my mum, with my mammy on a Saturday afternoon. My dad would get ready and go out, and me and my man of a Saturday afternoon would watch all those old movies, the MGM classics, and so I would, she would get a wee fries cream. Was it fries cream? It was a fries cream, yeah. And I'd get whatever sweets I'd have, and would sit on the couch and watch those movies, and then after the movies, she would go and get the tea ready, and wait for my dad to come back, and I'd watch Play Away. Yeah, Play Away. Wow, random. But I love all those types of old timey movies, and I think that's great. I feel the exact same way about. I love original movies like 39 Steps, the original 39 Steps, or the Basil Rathbone Sherlock Holmes movies, that I just absolutely adore them. Absolutely adore them. And I watch them all the time. I must have watched the original 39 Steps a gabillion times. And to see it, and to see the way it was filmed, and it's just so special. I think it was Peggy Ashcroft. We got a young Peggy Ashcroft was in it as well, and the guy from Dad's Army, he's in it, isn't he? And what's his name? Donut. I want to say Donut, but it isn't it? I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he was just so wonderful in it. And I always love watching the Alfred Hitchcock movies, so you can see where he is. Where is he? Because when he makes a little appearance. But anyway, I digressed. But good question. Town Crier Ratcliffe, thank you for the sessions. My question to you is, while at work I jumped into a canal to save a female, which was probably one of the scariest things I have ever done. That made me reflect afterwards. Yeah, Town Crier Ratcliffe, I know exactly who you are, and that was a very, very brave thing that you done when you jumped in and thought just to save a person, and you really should be commended for that. I would like to think that I would probably, if I saw, if you saw that, I think it's in your makeup to reach out to help to save someone, but I've never found myself in that situation, and like yourself, you have. So, that's to be commended, as I said. But I would imagine that after you'd done that, you would have thought, I think once the dust settles, you'd probably think, wow, that was heavy. But fair play to you. You're the better person for that. And yeah, it's great. It's a great question. Let me go back to that. I'd like to think I would. I think that's in my makeup. Hello, Donna Partridge. She says, hi, Marty. I say hi back. Question for you. How do you decide which songs to play on tour or sing in your sessions? So many fantastic songs. How do you decide which ones to leave and put in? Well, I think it's very much how you're feeling. And I think that the songs that, like on the lockdown things that I've been doing, having me sing songs for you, are songs that are kind of peppered throughout my life. It might mean something to me or spark a memory to me. It might not be, a song that, some of the songs I've not sang in years, but it was just nice for me to, how they come across, and or maybe I'd hear them on the radio and think, I'm going to have a shot at that. And I think it's always good to have a connection with the memory, because that's the beauty of songs, that it does take you to a time and a place in your life, and in powerful times that music has, not for me just as a singer or an artist, but as a listener. They're big ones for me. And I think the keys of songs are so important to me as a singer, because I always think they're called keys. They're called keys for a reason. And what I mean by that is that as a singer, if the key's right, it will open you up, where you can go with your voice and what you can do with it. And if it doesn't, then it closes you down and it doesn't let you in, or the song alone you. And what I mean by that is that you're not in a comfortable area, so you're always thinking, oh, here comes this note or this big note, or it's always fighting with you. I like the songs to be able to sit in a way where I can make them do what I want and not the other way around. And that means that the keys are so important, and that's when the song opens up and you can make it do anything you want. So, Donna, that's and especially when you're playing live and you're engaging in the audience, more so now at this time in my career, when and some of the tours that I've done, you read the audience and you interact and you see where they're going, and you think, okay, right, it's time for an up-tempo song, or this is the way it will work. I think you've always got to be, you've got to have certain songs in your armour or in your set that will do certain things. Because every audience is different every night, and quite rightly so, and how they, like Friday night or Saturday night audiences, I always think Thursday nights are a great audience for me. So, but then again, right now at this time in my life, I'll be happy. I'm happy to sing to any audience, and I'm really looking forward to going on tour again, and because that's something that's just been part of my life for so many years, and due to the circumstances, it's kind of went away, and I think to myself, no, I'm really going to cherish that, you know, really stare again at looking at it and being involved in it again, because it is such a powerful connection. And that's something that we all demand and should have in our lives. Vicky Williams is asked, the question is, if you could pick a day to relive over and over, what day would it be and why? Oh, that's a great question, isn't it? That's a really great question. Do you know, because, oh no, that's a hard question. That's a really hard question, actually. You know, there's not one day. You know, I know that I think that, you know, if that day, it would be a busy day because I'd spend a lot of time visiting lots of people, and I always think when that question, it just makes me think of people who are not with me anymore in my life. So I'd like to spend times with them, but then again, yeah, you know, so there's just so many thoughts that spring to mind, you know, and I think it's like, if it was a Christmas day, like say like a Christmas time that you could relive again, you know, I think it's got to be like the first times that you really, I don't know, you catch for me it was catching, funny enough, putting up a Christmas tree in my little house, or the little apartment that we stayed in, the whole family. It was like 2 rooms, you know. I say apartment, it's a close in Claybank, Damure to be precise. And putting up the Christmas tree there, because we had the open fire, because it was a coal fire and stuff like that. And I think that just getting the build up, that preamble to Christmas, you know, just, you know, starting to see the tree going up and stuff like that. And then as the build up to Christmas would come closer, another present we could put under our, you know, or you know, these, you would see, you know, my dad shuffling in or something and going straight into another room or something. You'd think, oh, I wonder what he's brought in, you know. And you know, so I'd always think that, you know, it'd be great to get that feeling again, just uncomplicated, you know. And what I mean by that is like a simple time in your life where it was just about, it's about whether or no you were going to get that football strip, or you're going to get the bike that you wanted, or anything like that. I think they're magical times, and that's, you know, so. And I've said a lot of times, like pertaining to Christmas, that, you know, I like Christmas, but there'll be a fleeting moment with me every now and again in the Christmas period where, whoa, I connect with what it's about. It might be brought on by a movie, a smell, a scent, a present, a conversation with a loved one or something, and then you're like, boom, you get that whole sense of connection and the feeling, and it's fleeting for me. And that's enough, because it's so magical. And I think, well, there you go, we're in Christmas mode. So I really love that, you know. So, and I think that the times that we've got at the moment and what we're all going through, this Christmas will be super special, and will be special, and a lot of time to reflect, not only in Christmas past, but for the future, and for what we've all been through this year will be discussed, and you know, round the Christmas table. But it's all good, because it's, you know, we're going to get through this, but it's a great time for reflection. And so let's only just think of happy times. And oh, you've got another question here. When was the last time that you tried to do something, look cool, and ended up in utter embarrassment? That happens to me consistently, and I'm not trying to be cool. It's like I'm just no paying attention or whatever. I have a big problem with bollards. You know, the things in the centre of streets, you know, or they're on walking areas or something. I seem to be like attracted to them. You know, I could be talking, blah blah blah. I know what you mean. You know, boom, I'll walk into it. I'm forever doing that. I mean, they could be miles away. It could be one in a square mile or something. You know what I mean? And I'll suddenly somehow, I'll gravitate to it. You know. And when you get taller, you know, it's fair to say it's caught me in some, you know, it's fair to say it's taken the wind out my sails a few times. Yeah, and that's it, you know. And it's like, you know, I'm okay with big steps. It could be the tiniest step or something, you know, and you're talking away. And I hate that feeling when you think that you're going to connect with the ground, but you don't. So you're kind of in mid-air, and you think you're on it, but you're not, and you kind of do this kind of weird, you know, your body kind of shakes because she goes a bit, boom, down I'll go. That happens to me quite a lot. Yeah, I don't know why. Why did I get on at that? Oh, right, the utter embarrassment. Yeah. Well, embarrassment, I can get over that. No, that's no problem. If that's as bad as it gets, we're okay. But good question, Vicky. Yeah. Lynn Forsyth Clark, lockdown sessions 2, the lockdown sessions are even better than, oh, thank you. That's a lovely thing to say. Do you dream much? Do you remember? Do you remember them? Do you dream much? And do you remember them when you wake up? Any really scary nightmares? I love dreaming. Big dreamer me. Always loved the flying dreams first and foremost, and all that. And I remember I was watching the telly, and I always remember that this line, you know, that and Mum, I would say it to me when I was a wee guy, you know, go to sleep, you know, when I would be playing about or messing about, and she would say, look, you better get to sleep quick, or somebody else will get your dreams. I always thought that's a good line. You know, go to bed early, you know, somebody else will get your dreams. And I thought, nice. Yeah, and never scary to you. I was never one for well, yeah, maybe a couple, you know, where somebody's chasing you and for some reason you can't, whenever you're trying to get away, it's like swimming in treacle or something, you know. But nah, you know, most of my dreams are, you know, yeah, they're the usual ones of flying and stuff like that, you know. And sometimes I've dreamt songs, you know. I do believe that, you know, you hear them, you know, and you'll have a melody in the morning and stuff like that. Some have made it into songs, some not. You know, you think, oh, that's a great idea, and then you listen back and you go, you know, I don't know what that is, or it's some, you know, be another song that you've been working on from a while back, something that's just in there percolating or something, you know. But there's, you know, good dreams, and you know, good dreams are powerful stuff, and I'm a great believer in them. So, hope that answers your question, man. Hello, Christine Misha Kafka from Vienna. I know you, Christine. What's your question? What's the oldest thing you own? Lots of loves and hugs from Vienna. Christine, the oldest thing I own, I think it's probably stuff that have been passed down through the families, you know, that's made its way to me. You know, whether or not that's paintings or little letters and stuff like that from way back. You know, and I'm not really one for collecting of antiques. Well, not really old, but, you know, I like some Art Deco stuff and, you know, furniture and little bits like that. But, you know, I probably maybe like, you know, got some old mirrors. But apart from that, you know, I'm not one for old stuff. So probably the stuff that's been that I have is from my great grandparents. So yeah, that's a few years old. And I hope you're having a wonderful time in Vienna, a beautiful city. So that's pretty much it for today for this wee Q&A. I'll probably check in with you again. I'm probably going to do my plan is to do a couple of wee kind of Christmas numbers. And I hope you like that. And hey, it's been an absolute pleasure today, having a wee swing by and a wee chat with you. Hope all your shopping's going well and everybody's getting into the spirit. And let's all try and make this the best Christmas that we've all had in a long time, because we all deserve it. So, love to love, stay safe. Mwah!